Hey, what's up? Hello, Katie here. Welcome back to my channel. And right now, we're going to talk more about the books I want to read before I move. But this is specific because this is going to be my October TBR, and I move in the first week of November. So I really need to start busting my way through these books. And if you haven't already seen my September wrap up, then I would suggest to go watch that if you're curious to see what I've already done, because I did make quite a bit of headway into these books. But I did also do a video of books I need to read before I move. So all of this is anticipation of moving, and I have every intention of doing a good job. Is it going to happen? I have no idea. Let's get into the books that I am going. I need to stop. I'm gonna read them in October. But before I get into what books I want to read in the month of October, I'm going to turn it over to sponsor Katie, talking about our favorite sponsor, Book of the Month. Hold on, have you not heard of Book of the Month? Welcome to Earth, friend. Book of the Month is the most popular online book subscription service for a very good reason. So what they do is every month, their team vets hundreds of new release fiction, and they pick 5 books in 5 different genres as that month's book selection. So you have the ability to do less time researching and more time reading, which in the book community, we all know we need, and especially because it's coming up on the end of the year, we all need to meet that Goodreads goal, sis. We all need to meet it, okay? Another amazing thing about Book of the Month is that it's risk-free. Like if you want to skip a month, there's no financial risk, and there's literally a button that says skip this month. You hit it, and it's over. There's no pain, there's no hassle, there's no, are you sure? No, skip the month, bye, see you next month. Don't worry about it, fam. Amazing. And you know, if you've ever been subscribed to a service, how hard it is to have that be easy. And Book of the Month, amazing. Not only that, but it is also the lowest price for new hardcover release fiction. Like it is the most competitive price, especially if you use my code, which is Katie at checkout. There's also a link down below if you want to subscribe, but it will be $9.99 for your first book. $9.99 for a hardcover new release fiction, sometimes books that haven't even come out yet. What? I'm shook. Anyway, they sent me a lot of books this month, so let's just get to talking about it. Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart is a psychological family drama following a woman who, after she was pushed out of her hometown after high school, she returns to solve the riddle not only of her family, but of a horrific crime. The Lincoln Highway has been described as a group of underdogs on a road trip where a lot of shenanigans take place. This is also set in the 1950s, and I will warn you, there is a trigger warning for suicide. The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling is my pick. I've heard this is very spooky. I believe it might be about a witch, but it is where this woman puts a hex on her ex. I mean, obviously, I've heard it's spooky, it's romantic, it's magical, and shockingly very funny. Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead is a historical heist story where you follow this guy named Freddie who's down on his luck, and he falls in with a crew who's planning on robbing a very famous hotel. The Perishing by Natasha Dion is supposed to be a supernatural story that discusses social issues. It's set in 1930s LA, and you're following a journalist who is pioneering through not only journalism, but also shifts in time, identity, and love. I also wanted to highlight the add-on portion of Book of the Month because something they've started recently doing is that if you are a new member, you can choose your first book as one of the add-ons or one of the book selections. So you can choose any of the books they have to offer. It doesn't have to be from October, but I did want to highlight that I got myself 2 of the add-ons. One of them is Leanne Moriarty's new book, Apples Never Fall, and then also The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman, because this cover is stunning. So this is really cool because basically if I had picked The Perishing as my book, I could have also picked these and I would get all 3 of these in 1 month. So 3 absolutely stunning books that are all the same height. We love to see it. Thank you so much, Book of the Month, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get right back to the TBR. I'm going to start out with the 2 books that I have already started in September. So I'm starting out with Stranger Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I am currently on page 108, finishing out September, moving into October. So this is a booktube darling. It is so beloved in the booktube community. I have never seen somebody give it, like, I think I might have seen 2 people give it 4 stars, but everyone else has given it 5 stars. And these tabs don't mean anything, I swear. Like, I keep telling myself I'm going to tab and then completely forgetting, but I'm really liking it so far. I don't really necessarily understand what's going on, but It's pretty good. So as far as I can tell so far, we are following a character who is named Laszlo Strange, and everyone calls him Strange the Dreamer because he's a librarian and he always has these dreams of a city that everyone forgot. Like basically like magically it was wiped from everyone's memory, and all he knows to call it is Weep, because whenever he wants to think about it or talk about it, he starts tearing up. So everyone just calls it Weep. And he is the one who feels the most connected to this city. And he is like a historian of this city. So he keeps all these books about it. He reads all these things. People tell him it's folklore. It's not real. And he's like, yeah, but all folklore is based on some grain of truth. So one day, these people come to visit and are like, we're going to take some of you to come and see this town. And he's like, the town I've been thinking is not even real, like my whole life, like I'm obsessed, what the heck? So he kind of catches a ride with them to go see the city. And then now at the point of the book that I'm in now, we're following like a bunch of like random children who like, I think maybe are like godly, are they like God's children or something? I don't know. They have powers, they have abilities, they're very fascinating, very cool. The writing is stunning, and I am gonna end up, let's knock on wood, nothing crazy happens. I will finish this in October, and I really hope I love it. I'll go ahead and say that I'm also hoping and planning to read Muse of Nightmares if I end up loving Strange the Dreamer. I really need to take the sticker off. That is so ugly. But these covers are stunning. Obviously, I don't know what this one is about. I'm not going to read the summary, but the blurb or whatever says, Sarai has lived and breathed nightmares since she was 6 years old. Okay, so Sarai is a character in the first book. So I guess the second book is about her? I have no idea. But the plan is real. The other book that I'm currently reading is Bunny by Mona Awad. I am on page 50, moving into this next month, and I got the physical book, like... I own 3 copies of this book. I have the ARC, the paperback, and now I just got the hardcover like last week. And when I got the hardcover, I was like, I kept trying to put it away in the box of stuff I'm moving with, and I couldn't put it away. I couldn't do it. I was like, maybe I'll reread it. Maybe I'll reread it. So I ended up keeping it out, and I started it immediately. I am doing it to annotate. This is a 5-star for me. This is like top 10 favorite books for me. I read it like a year and a half ago, and it was before I started my YouTube channel. And I remember that like my best friend was like, I wish that you had vlogged yourself reading that book, because I would call her just losing my shit about this book and how good it was. This is one where I feel like it has a very low rating on Goodreads, and I can understand why, because if you don't go into this book with proper expectations, you're not gonna like it. I've said it a million times, but the best way to describe this book is this is like if Stephen King wrote Mean Girls at the height of his dopamine addiction, it would be this book. This is about this group of 5 girls in this very elite writing program at this college. And it's like called Warren is the college. It's basically like they went to Harvard or something. But for writing. You get what I'm saying. So our main character, Samantha, is one of the girls, and then there's 4 girls that call each other the Bunnies, kind of like the Heathers. But then Samantha, like one of the things about this book is that she has such a vivid imagination and such an interesting way of viewing the world. It's very it's very darkly poetic. Almost like a little bit kind of Tim Burton-y, like the way she views things. Like these characters, the Bunnies, she calls them Creepy Doll, Cupcake, Vignette, and the Duchess. And she describes them so cartoonishly, gothically, like it's so entertaining. And they every week hold a smut salon. And they're all friends with each other, all obsessed with each other, but Samantha's on the outside and she's never been invited to the smut salon until one day she randomly gets an invite. And she's like, well, it's kind of cool to be invited, I guess. I don't know. So to not be rude, she goes to the smut salon. What do they do there? Well, they don't braid each other's hair. That's what I'm gonna say. They do some weird fucking shit. It's weird. It's weird. It's crazy. It's creepy. It's eerie. It's like, is it witchcraft? Is it? Like, what is this book about? Is it about witchcraft? Is it about mental illness? Is it like a gothic horror? Like, what is it? I don't know. And I love that. I love that about it. I love that even as I'm rereading this book, I don't even fully grasp what's going on. And I think that that's the whole beauty of it, is that you're not really supposed to. Like, you're supposed to just take out of it what you think is happening, and then somebody else might read it and take out something totally different, and then you guys can both kind of argue on like why you think what happened is what happened. I don't know. I'm having a great time, and I will be finishing this in October. The book I'm the most excited to read in the October spooky season is A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. Now, just like I was saying with Bunny, The Cabin at the End of the World is one of my top 10, actually like top 5 favorite books of all time, and this is the same author. I've never read anything else besides The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, but Jordaline from Jordaline Reads, who I think is absolutely hilarious, and if you don't follow her, like, go follow her if you love horror or spooky books, because she is like hilarious. She absolutely loves this book. I feel like she did like a horror recommendations and this was on it. And I immediately went and was like, put this on my wish list. I need it. And I'm so freaking excited. And this was actually sent to me by Emma Tompkins, who is the same girl who sent me Punk 57. Wow. This is blurred by Stephen King. And it said, "A head full of ghosts scared the living hell out of me. And I'm pretty hard to scare." That's high praise. And we're following like a 14-year-old girl named Marjorie and her family that begins to show signs of acute schizophrenia, and that she has bizarre outbursts and subsequent descent into madness. The family reluctantly agrees to be filmed, never imagining that The Possession, which is like the movie being made about them, would become an instant hit. When events in the Barrett household explode in tragedy, the show and the incidents it captures become the stuff of urban legend. I've heard this book is really creepy. It's really atmospherically eerie and good and scary, and it's actually very, like, it's quite thin. But I know that this is the same size at The Cabin at the End of the World, and I adored that book, so I can't wait to get to this one. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, some of these I don't really know what they're about, so I'm just gonna kind of read the summary and then we'll discover it together, and that might be fun. The first of which being Girl Serpentthorne by Melissa Baschadaust. I might be pronouncing that correctly. This is the same author of Girls Made of Snow and Glass. I always get that title confused, but I love that book, and I'm actually considering buying a hardback of that book and rereading it. And she's an author who does a lot of like fairy tale retellings, like sapphic fairy tale retellings. And that one, Girls Made of Snow and Glass, had like mixed reviews, but I adored it. So I'm hoping for the same with this, because this one was met with higher praise, and I adore the cover. This was sent to me by Kendra Harper, and thank you so much. It says, "There was and there was not. As all stories begin, a princess cursed to be poisonous to the touch." Now, what I've heard about this one is that there's a princess who, like, if she touches someone, they'll, like, be poisoned and die. And that, what was it? I think her brother's getting married. Yeah. The day of her twin brother's wedding approaches. Soraya must decide if she's willing to step outside the shadows for the first time. Below in the dungeon is a demon who holds the knowledge she craves, the answer to her freedom. Above is a young man who isn't afraid of her, whose eyes linger not with fear, but with an understanding of who she is beneath the poison. Soraya thought she knew her place in the world, but when her choices lead to consequences she never imagined, she begins to question who she is and who she is becoming. Human or demon, princess or monster. Okay, I think I might have been making this up that it was sapphic. I guess it's not. I guess this is a hetero romance. A little disappointed about that, but still very intrigued. I want to read it. That's really all I have to say. Speaking of Book of the Month earlier, I have by Sherry Lupina, Not a Happy Family. This is one I had been hoping to read last month, and I'm carrying it over into this month because not only is it a like mystery thriller, but I am very intrigued, and I have been hearing a lot of people saying that this is a really good book from her. I really, really loved The Couple Next Door from her. It was very fun, easy, and fast, but I hated A Stranger in the House. Like, that book was terrible. So hopefully this one ends up being really good. Oh my God, the chapters are so short. God bless America. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Okay, I might physically read this. This is about this rich family. So it's these parents and their 3 kids, I think. And they all have like a family dinner or meeting, gathering or something. And then that night, I think they get in an argument. And then that night, they might be fighting about the will. I don't know. I've heard it's like very Knives Out. And Knives Out's like about the will. I don't know. But apparently that night, the parents end up dead, and they're trying to figure out what happened to them. And it says, if one of your family were capable of something as gruesome as a murder, you'd know, wouldn't you? And I'm like, that's so intriguing. So it's, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably not going to be one of them. It's going to be like a twist. It's going to be somebody else. But like, I hope it is one of them. I hope it's an inter-familial murder. Like, wouldn't that be so exciting? I'm excited. And then I have 2 books that I just picked up in my P.O. box today, and that is Sheets and Delicates, and they are by Brenna Thumler. So one, as I'm holding these books up, these are freaking heavy. Good God. But this artwork looks absolutely stunning. I did not have this one on my wish list because I didn't realize that there was a second book excuse me, but I wanted to pick this one up because Gabby had read it and said it was really good, and then a lot of people were reading it for like Summerween and Winterween and saying it was like one of their favorite graphic novels they've ever read, and I was like, gotta get my hands on that. But oh my god, before I started filming this, I realized that the second one is blurbed by Ariel Bissett. That's so cute. That is so cute. She wrote, I wish Brenna Thumler would illustrate my life. I'd be lucky to live in such a well-loved and breathtaking world. Thumler's storytelling burns bright. That is so cute. Oh my god, that's... And then Lemony Snicket blurb this one. Stop. Let me just... I don't actually know what these are about, so we're going to do another one of those. Let's read the summary and see what happens. For Marjorie Glatt, being 13 years old isn't quite the same as it is for everyone else, responsible for running her family's laundromat while trying to survive middle school. Ugh. Marjorie's daily struggles include persnickety customers, we love the word persnickety, snippy classmates, agonizing swim lessons, and laundry. Always, always laundry. Wendell, is a bit different too. Wendell is a ghost. What? His daily struggles include dead youth support groups and unavoidable stains. Okay, I'm in this. I'm in it. But when he escapes from the land of ghosts and bumbles into Marjorie's laundromat, the perfect ghost playground, his attempts at fun and friendship begin to harm the family business. That sounds amazing. Okay, this was sent to me by Rachel. Rachel, are you kidding me? That is so cute. Wait, let's see what the second one is about. I love this cover, like, so much. I can't handle it. The second one says, Marjorie Glatt's life hasn't been the same ever since she discovered a group of ghosts hiding in her family's laundromat. Wendell, who died young and now must wander Earth as a ghost, with nothing more than a sheet for a body, soon became one of Marjorie's only friends. But when Marjorie finally gets accepted by the popular kids at school, she begins to worry that if anyone learns about her secret ghost friend, she'll be labeled as a freak who sees dead people. No, Marjorie, don't do it. With Marjorie's insistence on keeping Wendell's ghost identity a secret from her new friends, Wendell begins to feel even more invisible than he already is. Am I going to read this tonight? This sounds so good. I'm definitely reading these in October. An audiobook that is not on my physical TBR, but I still really, really want to read in October, despite my I need to get my physical TBR down during October challenge to myself, is going to be For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. So I absolutely adored My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, which I also am hoping to reread in October, but I'm not like holding myself to it. And then I also just read He Started It by Samantha Downing last month and really enjoyed that one as well. So I'm hoping for good things about this one because it has been getting pretty good ratings. I don't really know what it's about. I know it's dark academia, and I think it's like a dude on a campus killing people. That's all I really know, and honestly, I don't need to know more because I'm gonna read it no matter what. The last book that is in my top priority for October is Malice by Heather Walter. So this summary just sounds so good. Okay, I'm not going to do it justice. Let me just read a little bit. A princess isn't supposed to fall for an evil sorceress, but in this darkly magical retelling of Sleeping Beauty, true love is more than a simple fairy tale. Bitch, you had me at hello? You had me at hello. Okay, are you kidding me? She meets Princess Aurora, the last heir to the Briar throne. She's kind, gracious, the future queen her realm needs. The one who isn't bothered that I am the dark grace, abhorred and feared for the mysterious dark magic that runs in my veins. Aurora says I should be proud of my gifts, that she, cares for me, even though a power like mine was responsible for her curse. But with less than a year until that curse will kill her, any future I might see with Aurora is swiftly disintegrating. Oh my god, bitch, I can't, okay. And she can't stand to kiss yet another insipid prince. Oh my god, okay. I want to help her. If my power began her curse, perhaps it's what can lift it. Perhaps together we could forge a new world. Nonsense again, because we all know how this story ends, don't we? Aurora is the beautiful princess, and I am the villain. I hope that I'm such trash for this book. I really hope I'm trash for this book. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about it, but I want to read it so bad. Here I'm going to pop in a couple books that if they happen, they happen. If they don't, they don't. But I do have them not only physically, but I do have the audio as well. So don't be surprised if you see them in a reading vlog or in an October wrap-up. And that would be Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Not going to go into what the books are about, but that's one that I recently acquired the audio of. And then I also acquired the physical book for Red Rising by Pierce Brown by Erin from Booked and Busy. Thank you so much. So I might be getting to that one sooner rather than later than I was anticipating. I think my dad gifted me the audio for The Year of the Witching, and that seems very fall, so I might get to that in October. My dad also gifted me the audio for Foundry Side and Black Sun. So those are all up in the air. I think Black Sun, I'm going to wait until November or December because it feels more of a winter vibe than a fall vibe. But Foundry Side, I could definitely see in October and November. So those might happen, but I'm not holding myself accountable for it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've gotten this far into the video, leave the ghost emoji for a couple reasons. 1, it's spooky season. 2, Halloween. 3, head full of ghosts. 4, sheets. Is there any other ghost thing that's happening here? No? Okay, perfect. That's enough. Leave the ghost emoji. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Goodreads, they are going to be linked down below, as well as a slew of other links according and surrounding me. If you feel so inclined to click on any of them, I want to say a special shout out to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video and to continue sponsoring my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having right now. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.